It's recording.
Okay, sorry. Hi, this is our Sprint 1 presentation for our project Climate Crisis. My name is Miranda Bowie, and I'm on the development team. Also on the development team, we have John Henges. Our project manager is Davis Jackson, and our Scrum Master is Brandon Stevens. For a project update, we've created the sprites for the first mini game and have begun implementing the code in order to add functionality. The objects in the game can be interacted with, but currently have minimal functionality.
This picture right here is a little earlier prototype. We've actually added some functionality since then, and we'll talk about that. So review of the software test. So Godot has an inbuilt script editor. It has a very good error checking system that can help do some testing for our software. But sometimes errors get through there, so we got to do some manual testing on our end. So one thing we did is we tested the seed picking. As you can see in this picture, there's these little seeds that kind of look like potatoes. And when you click them, they should properly call the right function and disappear on the screen. And then we also did some testing with these, if we go back to this picture, these clouds, these are procedurally generated and they scroll across the screen. And we had this problem that these clouds would just keep stacking up and up and up, and that could degrade performance if left on long enough, even though that probably never happened, but it's important to take that into account. So we have some functions here that limit that the clouds that can be spawned. And then for some technical progress updates, so as Miranda said, we created a lot of sprites and we finished a lot of them too. As you can see in this Kanban board with all our sprites in there alongside of our programming tasks. So we implemented the Foley effects. We have the seed picking. We also have the temperature changing implemented now. And we also have a little scoreboard system too. And now for a functionality demonstration. Let me share the screen for this. Okay, so let's run it. Y'all see it on my screen?
Yeah.
Awesome. So here's our game so far. We have the clouds being randomly generated on the screen, scrolling across. Just add some nice Foley effects to the background and stuff. Here's our score counter. We're still working on the text. It's a little blurry right there, but we're still figuring that out. You click it, and the score updates properly. The temperature will change. We just need to. At the end of this, we need to come back together and just tie all these systems together, which will literally take like an hour to tie everything together to get it all working. But all the functionality is there. We just need to bring it all together, and that will complete our mini game. So yeah, you can click on the score will increment properly. And yeah, like I said, we just need to tie everything together and then it'll be good. So let's go back to the presentation now.
So for our Sprint 1 backlog accomplishments, we saw a lot of them with what Brandon just showed. For the most part, what we got together was our sprites, our mini game 1 basic functionality, including all of the disappearing seeds and the incrementing the score counter and all that, as well as the arena for mini game 1. And as of right now, we're for the most part done with Sprint 1, besides, like Brandon said, bringing everything together, making sure everything functions properly. And so now for our Sprint 2 backlog with estimations, a lot of this now is just implementing the 2 other mini games and the main menu interface. A big part of it will be figuring out what we want to do for the main menu and the UI and all that. And also implementing stuff like our little information bits that we have before each mini game and such. So going through the items, show the UI implementation and everything. It's going to take roughly a day to complete, I say, in total. And hopefully at the end, if we have time and time permits, we are going to try to find a way to track player progress.
So with our project, we did run into a couple issues. One of the main issues is the understanding of how Godot functions. So most of our group members haven't used Godot before, so it's our first time running through it. So we have to learn how to functions, what we're doing wrong, what we're doing right, all that good stuff. Minigame 1 is functional, but is not fully implemented yet. So we need to finish that up so we can get going on the stuff that's in sprint 2. And we also had some issues with displaying certain sprites, where certain ones would change at the wrong time, or would change too frequently, or just straight up wouldn't change when we needed it to. So for our next steps, we aim to complete the other 2 mini games and the UI of the main menu. And with Godot already implemented, setting up minigame 2 and 3 should be a lot faster and be a lot more efficient. We also hope to implement some form of player progress if the time permits, excuse me. And with that, that's our project. Do you have any questions?
Real quick, remind me, what was the point of the game?
Yeah, so the point of the game is just to make like different mini games to bring awareness to different kinds of climate change issues. And so for this one, we're looking at temperature changes. And so what we hope is before we're going to have a little excerpt that talks about how like temperature and stuff impacts like seed germination and stuff. And it'd just be like a pretty brief thing that the user can stay on and then click off whenever they feel.
Yeah, it'll be like a pop-up box with a little explanation like, oh, this is how it is, and this is how it relates back to climate change and stuff. We just didn't get around to implementing that, but I mean, it's literally like not even that long to implement. You just pop up a box on the screen with some text in it, and then once the user clicks off, you just get rid of the box and get into the game. So, but we were mainly focused on the actual functionality of the mini game rather than that. But that's also a really important part of it too.
That's fine. It's just you guys aren't my group, so it's been a while since I've also seen you guys. So
Yeah.
But it was a good presentation.
Thank you.
I've never used Godot. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, it is.
Is there a reason why you chose that instead of Unity?
I honestly think I'm the one that kind of pushed that decision. I think it's more user friendly than Unity. I think Unity, there's a lot of things you can get bogged down with really fast in it. And I think Godot is more accessible in terms of has the inbuilt scripting editor with a really simple language that's really close to Python and JavaScript and stuff. So that's kind of the reasons why I kind of chose that rather than Unity.
Yeah, that's fine. Your game looks good. It's simple, but you guys only had about like 2 weeks to do it. And usually setting up the project is what takes
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's true. Because some of I'm not too familiar with Godot. I mean, I know a good bit of things, and then other group mates in the project, they've never really had experience to Godot before, so it can take some startup time to learn about it, like how to navigate around it and stuff. So I think now that we've kind of had exposure to that, we can really work on finish this minigame up and then really get minigame 2 really good in the time frame.
Yeah, definitely. But overall, it was a good presentation. The only thing I would like to see next time is talk about sprint 1 and your capacity and effort hours that you completed or didn't complete. And it just helps me gauge, are you guys reaching that 40-hour capacity? Is everybody being utilized the correct way? But other than that, it was a good presentation. And if you don't have any other concerns, you guys are free to leave.
All right, thank you.
Thank